United States Highway 202. Yeah. Alright, US 202 in Pennsylvania is another one of those suburban Philly roads. In this case, it's passing the city to the west and to the north. Here is the route map. As we can see, it goes from Delaware to New Jersey through Pennsylvania, and it goes from Elam up to New Hope. I don't know if Pennsylvania's gonna mess up with this one. You're watching the Xavier 456, who posts new highway content every week. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you really like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Now is the time that you can request your exit or intersection down in the comments. We will be doing US 209 next week. Alright, first, let us talk about northbound US 202 in Pennsylvania. Once we have crossed in from Delaware, we get this welcome sign. It is very unique, and apparently I have been told by Chuck Slezak that it has been up since about the 70s or so that's awesome. Here is our first intersection, and it is for US 1, which is concurrent with US 322 at this point. It is signed west for Kennett Square. Okay, I don't know. And east for Concordville? Why? 1 mile? That's just signed because it's where they split. Not mentioning the fact that we're pretty much already in Concordville. Meanwhile, US 202 is getting a control city of Westchester for 6 miles, and apparently that is fine. We're now concurrent with West 322, and once we get our business route into Westchester, we get North 202 and West 322 for Paoli and Downingtown. So Downingtown works for West 322, but 202 does not touch Paoli at all. Chuck Slezak already observed this, and I agree with his comment. What should be signed here is King of Prussia. For now, 202, you're gonna have to get this. Okay, here is the actual split of US 322 going to Downingtown. That works. And also an upcoming exit is PA 100 North, and is going to US 30 West, and they're signed for Exton, and I think that's the way to go for 100. Here you're meeting US 30 eastbound, which was requested by Chuck Slezak also, and everything about this sign is wrong. Yes, I mentioned it in my US 30 video, but there is absolutely no word of east on that sign, and the control city should not be Fraser at all, it should be Paoli, as I have been told. But at this same exit, we finally get this 202 North for King of Prussia, and that should have been signed from Westchester. Approaching King of Prussia, things get super confusing. It feels like that US 202 ends here because we don't get any signage for it at all. We only get 76 East Philadelphia on a pull through, which is the right choice, but then we get an exit for Devon Park Drive, and to the left is 422 West Pottstown, only because of the intersection with PA 100. But there's no word of US 202 at all. Here is an exit for West 76 to East 276, signed for New Jersey and Harrisburg. Felt like it should be New York, but whatever. And if we look on the next holder, we finally get a sign for North 202, but we don't get any control city at all. In fact, when we look on I-76, we can see a sign for US 202 North, King of Prussia, which we're already in King of Prussia at this point, so what should be signed here, in my opinion, is Norristown. Pennsylvania screwed up again with their error shields. We get a PA 202 instead of a US 202. Not to worry though, this image is from 2021, and they recently had fixed it, and this is what it looks like in 2023. Now here's an interesting bit. US 202 is exiting onto a local street, and straight ahead is a bypass which Google Maps still signs as US 202, but it isn't actually US 202 at all. But US 202 here gets signage for Bridgeport. I think Bridgeport Norristown would be the way to go. Like, this is all we get in Bridgeport. But then we cross the Schuylkill River and we're now in Norristown, which is a bit bigger. From this point, our control city becomes Doylestown, and I think that is the way to go. Here you meet PA 611, and it assigns south for Philadelphia and north for Easton. Surprisingly good control cities for a state route. At this exit, we get North 202 New Hope, and I'm not sure, we meet PA 32 there. And it's the last town in the state. But just beyond that, it gets worse. Now New Hope is swapped out for Buckingham, and here is the reason for doing so. PA 413. We get an intersection of a minor road. Though at this intersection, our control city goes back to New Hope, and I'm still undecided about that one. And once we have our exit to PA 32 signed for New Hope and Easton, that's fine. we get 202 North Toll Bridge, New Jersey. Same thing as always happens when we go into New Jersey. We've run out of things to sign, so we can't sign anything more other than the next state. Of course, New Jersey does it the same way because the two states hate each other. South 202 Penna, which is even more ridiculous because they just couldn't write Pennsylvania out entirely. I'm sure these signs were put up by the Delaware River Authority. But while we're still in Pennsylvania, before we've crossed the river, we can see a New Jersey sign right here. 29 North Lambertville and Stockton. But that ends it in Pennsylvania, so let's turn around and talk about southbound US 202 in Pennsylvania, which includes a business route. The same thing happens here in New Jersey where we get a Pennsylvania sign on this side of the river. But we also get an easy pass accepted all lanes. Looks like we have a toll. Here is our toll booth put up by the Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge Commission. Once we get our first exit to PA 32 for New Hope and Easton, we get 202 South Doylestown. Fine. Going northbound, we didn't actually see any control cities for PA 413, but here are some when we go southbound. We get Newtown and Mechanicsville. But 202 keeps Doylestown. There's no sign for it at all, but this here is an exit to US 202 Business, which will take you through Doylestown. And we're gonna take that route right now. Here's a look at downtown Doylestown. Nice. When we meet with PA 611 here, it does not get any control cities at all. We only get faded keystones. It's not even any better for US 202 Business. It doesn't get any control cities at all. Which actually makes sense, because it's a business route and we really wouldn't want to have control cities on those. A laundry list of roads as we enter Montgomeryville. We get PA 309 and PA 463. South PA 309 is being directed to the left, but as you can see in the distance, Business 202 is as well, will be concurrent with 309 here. Here is where the two roads split. We'll be turning right to continue on Business 202. Here's where the business route ends as we get our North and South 202 shields here for the main road. There's no signage here at all, but branching to the right is the bypass to Bridgeport. As I've mentioned earlier, Google Maps still assigns this as US 202, so let's have a look. Here's what it looks like when we cross the Schuylkill River. As we can see, there's another bridge that carries the Norristown high-speed line. The only way to get to Bridgeport from the bypass is to use PA 23, which is signed for Bridgeport here. Here we get a laundry list of signs on this holder. We get West 76, East 276, New Jersey, Harrisburg, West 422 and East 76 to Philadelphia, and then Pottstown and Sweetsford Road. And we get two signs saying South 202 with no control city on them. Why not just one sign? I've addressed this before with I-279 in my rankings of the 3-digit interstates video. Once we get our exit from that middle right sign, we get 202 Southwest Chester. At least we get a control city finally, and it is the right one. Southbound 202 has a more direct connection to US 30 than northbound. But here, everything is wrong. East 30, Business 30 for Exton and Fraser, and 30 West Downingtown, where it actually should be something like Lancaster. The first sign should be Downingtown and Paoli, but we're gonna move on now to avoid another explosion. Here is an exit for Paoli Pike, which was requested by Chuck Slezak, as he would take this exit to get to work. And here we get South 202 and East 322 for Wilmington and Chester. That is a good sign. For once I agree with Chester here, because it's 322. Here's where 322 splits off and goes on to US 1, and they get the Concordville signage again. Stupid. And for Kennett Square going southbound on 1. And South 202 is now getting Wilmington, and I'm surprised because there's no Delaware on there. That is awesome. And welcome to Delaware, Endless Discoveries. This is the first time we're seeing a Delaware welcome sign, and the last. But that is it for US 202. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in US 209. I'll see you all next time, and as always, you're amazing.